Yo guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I tried 5 different controller player pro settings to see which one was the best. I went from high sense to low sense. I did all this so that you guys don't have to, and at the end of the video, I did make a conclusion. I really hope you enjoy the video. And if you do, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, thank you guys so much for 1,000 subscribers. You really don't know how much it means. Now, I really hope you enjoy the video. So, first setting, we tried phase sways controller settings. Now, I know it's very controversial, and okay, I'm just gonna be real. I know phase sway isn't the best competitive player, but he is highly regarded as one of the best creative warriors and players. He's one of the best zone wars players. He's all around really good and creative, and probably one of the best builders. Now, when I was copying his sense, I am gonna say it was very high, a lot higher than my sense. So I started off free building just in my own island. Here's some of the footage of that now. So I was on Sway's settings. After about 5 minutes of free building, I decided to go into some matchmaking games and just see how good my aim was with these settings. Just as I thought, it was quite hard to just like move around and kind of aim with Sway settings since it is really high. Now, I know why Sway plays on this setting. It's because he has basically mastered Claw. He has got the perfect control, and because he's been playing Claw for so long, it's just what you get for playing it so long. You end up mastering it, and he can basically work with any sense. That's why he is so good, and just having faster sensitivity makes him better because he can move around more, and he's got god aim because he's mastered his claw controller grip. So that is why he plays on such a high sense. But for me, since I only started on claw, it is still kind of hard for me, and I've not mastered it yet, obviously, so it was hard for me to aim, but I wasn't so bad at building. I played on each setting for around 45 minutes to an hour, so eventually I ended up finishing on Faceway's settings. Now, my overall conclusion for this setting is very good for someone who is obviously used to high sense more and a lot more used to using claw as a grip. I've only been using claw for a couple of months, so I've nowhere near mastered it. Anyway, moving on to the next setting. Next is gonna be Reet. Now, I'm assuming all of you guys know who Reet is. If you don't, he's an up-and-coming competitive player. He's probably one of the biggest players right now in competitive because of just how much he's blowing up. He's a controller god, and he actually plays on exponential. So, yet again, I swapped to his sense, and I started doing some free builds. This sense is a lot different to mine just because it's exponential, and it's a lot more slower, you could say. Roll the clips. After free building for about 5 minutes, I decided to go into some more matchmaking. I decided to do some box fights, and I found out something quite interesting about Reet's sense. I mean, everyone knows that exponential makes your aim a lot better, but god, they weren't wrong. My aim was amazing on Reet's sense. I don't know if it was because it was expo or because it was lower, but I thought I was hitting every shot. I actually managed to land a couple of clips. Take a look. So, overall, my conclusion on exponential settings is, well, it's quite hard to get used to, but I feel like if I genuinely got used to this sense, I would be a god. I wouldn't be missing any shots or anything. So, if you are good and do want to get a better aim, I would definitely suggest swapping to exponential, and especially Reet setting because it's perfect. That's all I really have for Reet setting. It is quite good, and I did quite like it, a lot more than Face Sways. Now we're going to be moving on. Next up, we have Ilist setting. Now, again, if you don't know who Ilist is, he is another up-and-coming, really good competitive player. In the past year, he has won so many tournaments, it's crazy. He is definitely going to be one of the best controller players going into 2021. He's really good, and I actually thought his sense was quite high, but when I tried it out, it's actually not that bad. It's a lot like mine, to be honest. So, I copied Ilist's settings, and I did some more free building. I just needed to get a feel with his settings, but there was something I felt with Ilist. It is a very nice sense. I'm just going to roll the clips. I definitely felt a lot more comfortable playing with Ilist settings. This is probably the most comfortable I've ever felt. After doing some free builds for a while, I decided to do more matchmaking. Just letting you guys know, I only played creative just because I couldn't really be bothered going into a normal game. So anyway, here's the matchmaking. I can understand why Ilist used this setting. It's linear, but he still has good aim just because of how perfect the sense is, and he can build fast as well. It's really perfect. I would definitely recommend this sense to anyone who does have a good understanding, wants to have good aim, but doesn't want to have to play Expo. This sense is basically perfect. It lets you do everything you want. It definitely gives Ilist his competitive advantage. Unfortunately, I choked the clip here, but I think you guys get the understanding that I like this sense. It's very good. And in conclusion, I would say it is just a really all-round good sense. Good for competitive, good for building, good for aiming, and it's still on linear. So, you know, it's the whole package really. I don't know where you can go wrong. It is all peripheral, don't get me wrong. Some people like high sense, some people like low sense, but in my opinion, I found this sense perfect for me. And, you know, it was great. So, moving on again, we're on to CRR. If you don't know who CRR is, you must have been living under a rock, because he has been quite well known for some time now. He is, again, another really good competitive player, but his settings are quite odd. I'm just going to show you. So here are the settings that I copied from CRR. Now, the main thing really is his look sensitivity. It's so high. I mean, it's all peripheral, as I said, so he probably was a high sense player back when he played COD or something, and that's why he likes high sense. But yeah, it's just quite odd really to see a sense this high. When I was trying it, it was quite hard to control, but I guess I'm just not used to it. So, I was using CRR's setting and I tried to do some more free builds. What I found out was I really needed to go slow when editing because I kept messing up. So, I literally had to go tile by tile. So, I finished free building and then I did some more matchmaking, that's right. But after that, I realised that CRR's sense, it was okay if I maybe got used to it a bit more. I could have probably got a little bit better with it. But I realised maybe if I aimed in more, I would probably hit more shots. So I was aiming in a lot more, and I feel like that's kind of how CRR's playstyle works out. But overall, in conclusion really, his setting is good. I mean, it's good for high sense. It's a high sense player kind of setting. I'm obviously not that kind of guy, so in my opinion, I don't really like it. Maybe if I tried it a bit longer, I would have got used to it more, but yeah, overall, it's kind of a high sense. If you like high sense, it's good for you. CRR's obviously got used to it over time, and he's really good with it now, but yeah, that's going to be it for CRR. So, finally, moving on to our last setting of the day, Letshe. Now, if you don't know who Letshe is, again, I really don't know how you don't know Letshe. He is quite famous in the Fortnite community. He has won countless tournaments. He's been in probably one of the best trios out there with Savage and Benji, but recently they split. But yeah, Letshe is a god. We're going to be trying out Letshe's settings. They are quite good. That's all I'm going to say. So we're going to get into some free builds, and I'm just going to show you what I was doing. So, after free building for a while, there was a kind of small thing that I noticed. His build mode sensitivity wasn't the highest, you could say. It was quite slow when I was moving around while building, so it wasn't the best building settings. But we went into some matchmaking and we tried out our aim. So, after playing some matchmaking games, I actually did get a couple of clips. I do have to say, my aim definitely was pretty good with Letshe's settings. they were pretty nice. Building was quite slow, but aim-wise, I was definitely hitting quite a lot of shots. Definitely not the worst sense I've used. I can definitely see why Letshe uses this sense. It's probably perfect for him because he has, you know, perfect like accuracy, and it's an all-round pretty good sense. I would recommend this to someone who, you know, wants to get better aim. It's linear as well, so you know, my opinion, not a bad sense. Not the best, not the worst, but honestly, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. So yeah, in conclusion, I would say not the worst. Not the best for me. Maybe for someone else, pretty good. I can see why Letshe likes it. But yeah, pretty good overall. Really like this sense. So, the final verdict, the final conclusion of which setting, in my opinion, I thought was the best. I'm going to say it right now. I think Ilist's settings were the best. They were just perfect. Honestly, everything about them worked out great. And to be quite honest, I think I might be swapping to Ilist's setting. I'm getting quite bored of my setting, and I'm missing all my shots. But when I tried Ilist's, it worked out pretty well, to be honest. So, I am going to be probably swapping. I also think, you know, it's perfect. Everything about it is just great. Building, aim, everything is good. But honestly, I think that's going to be the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you do, like and subscribe. Also, thank you so much for 1,000 subscribers. You guys don't know how much this means to me. It's great. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm going to be streaming tomorrow, so stay tuned. But yeah, that's going to be the end of the video here. I really hope you enjoyed. Goodbye. Thank you so much.